In the United States, 1.3 million students from the class of 2010 did not graduate from high school. Nearly 73,000 of these students were from New York City alone. Fazia Bacchus was dangerously close to becoming one of the 7,000 students that drop out of school every day.
Before I was involved with drugs and going out to party and fights and stuff like that, and now it's going to school and getting my credits and graduating.
Fortunately, she had a friend who helped her get back on track.
My best friend, she just told me, go to school, we'll graduate together, we'll go to college together, we just want to do everything together.
However, many of Fazia's classmates fall victim to the numerous difficulties facing Flushing High School, which is located in Queens, New York.
They have drug selling in the school, and there's gang fights, just a lot of stuff going on.
Flushing High is one school that has come to be labeled a dropout factory, a term originated by Dr. Robert Balfons of Johns Hopkins University. He characterizes a dropout factory as a school that has a 4-year graduation rate of less than 60%. New York City's Department of Education takes student retention and graduation very seriously. Under Mayor Bloomberg's administration, many schools have been closed and others put on a path for eventual closure. Because of its low 4-year graduation rate, Robeson High School in Brooklyn is on the shutdown list. However, teachers and students think the characterization of their school as a dropout factory is unfair.
In every high school, you always have 1 or 2 students that drop out. But in Robeson, I see a lot of people graduating. And the fact that they may not graduate in 4 years, but they will graduate in that 5th or 6th year. So I despise the fact that many people believe that Robeson is a dropout high school.
Stephanie Siegel is a longtime teacher at Robeson High.
One of the things that we've always been proud of is that even though, we have young people who come with lots of challenges, we're able to keep them here. And even they won't graduate in 4 years for a variety of reasons. Learning disabilities or such challenges in their home life, it's just hard for them to have good attendance. So that it ends up taking them longer for those reasons. But they stay.
Robeson High School is almost a classic case study in how budget cuts have directly resulted in challenges for students, according to the school science lab specialist and choir advisor Letitia Brown.
We got over capacity in terms of the number of students in the building, and there wasn't enough staff to accommodate, so classes were overcrowded. I think that was a start.
Robeson is not the only school dealing with low graduation rates. The International High School at Prospect Heights, where Rosie Frischella teaches, is experiencing similar issues.
My school is special because they're all English language learners.
In fact, students who speak English as a second language have a 4-year graduation rate of less than 40%. Teachers at Prospect also disagree with the label dropout factory.
It's another cliche name. I know what I do. I know about my job. I know when I go home, I dream about my kids. I know I think about them. I know I spend at least 10 hours of my day working. I know we're doing whatever we can with the resources we have. And I have full confidence in my school.
68% of New York City schools are performing at the level required by the Department of Education. Yet, when it is overwhelmingly young people of color who are in dropout factories, some believe this is a civil rights issue. Anarima Bhargava is the section chief of civil rights education in the Justice Department.
It is a civil rights issue because it's about fairness, it's about making sure that someone has a chance and that the doors are open to them, but it's also about making sure that we're actually preparing students to be able to work and live and survive in the American economy today, which is very different than it used to be.
Advocates like Bhargava point to research that suggests that one of the most important factors to graduating is simply keeping the kids engaged and providing them with support.
So the question is, how do we actually think about education as not as a factory and not as a place where kids drop out, but as a place where we're actually figuring out what are their needs and how do we keep them there, right? And that's going to be a very different model than what we have today in schools.
How are we going to keep kids from not dropping out? Computers and spending $1 billion on technology and infrastructure is not going to stop kids from dropping out. Human beings stop kids from dropping out. Call on their parents, having that human conversation, the interaction.
Fazia couldn't agree more. She thinks having an adult who listens would help kids in school.
And when I talk to somebody, it helps me. I feel better and I go to my classes, I do what I have to do.